Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott.
Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott.
Special thank you to our sponsors, the Gillette Home team of Keller Williams and Laura Gillette. For more information on their real estate services, go to teamgillette.com. And welcome to our new sponsor, Fuhsion Hub. For all your digital marketing needs, whether it's SEO and content management or Google Ads, go to bosunhub.com.
Hey.
Made it. Woo. Oh my goodness. It's been one of those mornings, but it's season 4. Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. We are here. You know, life sometimes deals you lemons and you just got to make lemonade. That's what I'm doing so far, but it's okay because I keep moving forward and we keep thinking positively. You know, life is all about perspective, right, Scott? You have a good perspective.
Absolutely. You know,
It's all
we
going to be
live
good.
in a world of abundance. There are winners and winners.
That's right. That's right. And I am just so blessed and just thankful to be with you, Scott, this morning for another season, season 4. Wow. Woo.
You
It's
know,
amazing.
there may be some technical difficulties, but season 1, episode 1, when I woke up to no power in the house and no internet connection, that was a rough start. But that was 3 seasons ago. We're in season 4 now. We've got great guests. I love the introduction because it gives a little glimpse into the people that are coming up. But I think we've got guests scheduled out, I know, until November. So it's gonna be fun. I'm just looking at that list thinking, oh my word, how did we get so fortunate to get such great guests like the folks that we have today?
Well, you know, I remember back before season 1 when my good friend D. Scott Smith said, "Hey, we should try live streaming. There's this thing called StreamYard. They got a good deal going on right now. We should check it out. We should try live streaming." And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like my normal is let's do it. Right. And then I think I have no idea what I'm doing. So what do? I decide to talk to a couple great friends, Mr.
Yep.
Alan Hennessy and Jim Fuhs, who
Mhm.
were more than willing to say, "Hey, let me give you a few pointers. Let me help you out with a couple things," because that's what we really needed. I definitely needed it, and it was such a blessing. And I always am quick to try to help, encourage, coach along other people because of the people that have blessed us, Scott.
Absolutely. And, I was thinking about Jim Fuhs and StreamYard specifically. This is one of those funny things where we needed a platform to be able to stream into multiple channels at the same time. And there are great software services out there that you can sign up for. it happened that Jim Fuhs was using StreamYard. He had actually an affiliate link, and we got a great deal. So I was like, why would I not take advantage of a great deal and let a friend be able to get the affiliate commission off of that? And this is something that you do because you get a good deal, the other person gets it. I mean, there's winners and winners.
Winners and winners.
I've heard that before, by the way.
Well, that's true. I've heard that too. Yeah, my good friend D. Scott Smith always says that. So before we get rolling this morning, I just want to remind everybody we're here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And we also are on before this on Instagram on the Experience Backstage. Some days like today, when I'm completely befuddled and trying to figure things out with my technology, we're really backstage. So, and then we jump, and our good friend Shri is with us every Wednesday at 6:30 on Instagram. Then we come here, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube at 7 a.m. Then after we're done here, we have a mastermind at 10:30, all based around live streaming. And it's an amazing thing. Scott, give them a little glimpse of that.
Yeah, we talk about all types of things that go into live streaming. Part of it is the technology, but that's a very small part of it. We talk about how to interview guests. We talk about how to monetize your live stream. We've talked about tips and tricks about your voice and how your voice is a tool and techniques to be able to be better at projecting yourself. So there's all aspects of live streaming that I guarantee will also help you in your everyday life.
Right. And it doesn't matter whether you are a first-time live streamer or experienced, there's always something for you, because really it's all about building community in this mastermind, coming together, helping each other out. It's an amazing thing. And it's funny that you bring up the voice thing, Scott, because when we first got started, my now adult children called Scott the radio voice. That was their nickname for him, because he has a radio voice.
I'm flattered.
And he has to deal with me, who sometimes loses my voice. But besides that,
well,
anyway,
you were like a Kermit, Mr. Excited. Yeah! That's actually Russ underneath that puppet, not Jim Henson.
I love Kermit. Okay, well, listen, I think it's time to bring in. We're going to bring both Alan and Jim in at the same time because they're amazing. Let's just get the show started. Mr. Alan Hennessy, Mr. Jim Fuhs, welcome.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Guys?
Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Good. We're gonna go age before beauty. Alan, you're up first. And
oh man, I tell
just kidding.
Are you sure on that?
Everybody says that to me all the time, so I'm just
no. I mean, I don't know, Alan. What? How old are you?
I don't think I could tell you that.
You're not a woman.
I'm 53.
Then I should go first. I'm 56.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I tell you what, you got to remember that Alan is in Greenwich Mean Time, so you have to translate that.
Well, and I can, of course, joke with both of you because I'm 58 years young. So there we go.
And I beat you all. So
but you said age
Scott's in his 70s.
I was thinking I should go before Alan because you were saying age.
There you go.
I just wanted to get that straight.
There we go.
Well, listen, you know what? I'm going to roll with you, Jim. You're up first. Tell everybody who you are and what you're up to.
Yeah, Jim Fuhs of Fuhsion Marketing. I do marketing the Marine Corps way. I've been retired now 13 years, actually, as of the 31st of August from the Marines as a lieutenant colonel. And, I had to figure out what to do. Still trying to figure out what to do. So I started doing this digital marketing thing in 2016 and have been live streaming for over 4 years now and have done literally hundreds of shows, both on camera and then even as a remote live stream producer, have done quite a few as well there. And so getting ready to go to People of Video in Albany, New York in a couple of weeks, and I'll be moderating a panel on the Amazon Influencer Program.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, you have done some incredible things, and I said it off the top, but when you and I first met, We, I think, met through the Global Tea Break, if I remember right. But anyway, wherever we first met, you and I just started chatting, and we had several conversations, and I just became great friends. And then you were just more than willing to give me some pointers, which helped a lot for Scott and I to do this show. And then I bumped over to my good friend Alan Hennessy, who created our backdrop that probably we still use today. And because we liked it so much. Alan, give everybody a little snapshot into what you're up to.
Hi guys, it's great to be on the show. It's great to be on with such an amazing panel of people as well. So it's always good. I'm Alan Hennessy, the digital marketer, the digital mentor. I have also the head of Compass Media, which is a digital marketing agency here in Dublin. And currently I'm in Limerick training. So I'm teaching this week, so I'm down here. So that's why it's not my usual fabulous setup with the microphones. I feel out of place here with everyone with their snazzy microphones, and I've got a little pair of earbuds. But how I never look, it's all good. But yeah, so teach digital marketing, social media, podcasting. I have 2 podcasts: the Social Media Talks podcast and the Curious Far podcast, and exclusive for the experience, there is the Digital Mentor podcast is starting in mid September. So that's going to be
nice.
another great podcast as well. So looking forward to all that. So loads of stuff going on.
And you're also a DJ.
Yeah, I'm also, well, my years of DJing, I spent 30 years DJing in clubs and pubs and wherever else we could find it. But now I just do the radio, and I have a radio show that goes out every week, which is on a syndicated internet radio station called charityradio.ie. So yeah, it's all fun. There's loads of stuff going.
Well, I know that I felt like I had made the big time when I was invited on the Tim and Jim show and on Alan's live stream. I remember how excited you were, Alan, when you got LinkedIn Live. And just, both of you have had so many great guests. And really, Scott and I just want to be like you when we grow up. We're still working on that. Still
we're working on growing up. But
yeah,
I believe
I was just about to say
up,
that, working on growing up. That's exactly what I would say. Working on growing up.
Yeah, and growing up, by the way, is overrated. So don't worry about it.
Yeah. Don't need to grow up. Stay young, stay happy.
Sounds good.
Well, so tell us, Alan, when you first got started, what really attracted you to live streaming?
I think it was the ability to, I suppose, share my expertise and, and engage with so many people. And like the great thing, and I always say it about whether it be, podcasting or whether it be live streaming or whether it be just social media, it gives you the opportunity to meet so many interesting people. And, and especially when you're able to do a live stream, you reach so many, and it enhances everything that you do, and it's great content as well, and people get to see you for who you are, and not just words on a page or graphics on a post or whatever it may be. So I think that's really, really powerful, and I think it's about that interaction that we need, because look, Jim would agree probably with this, is that video is here to stay. So I think live streaming is definitely part of this, and it's so powerful. But I just love it because I love to talk to people, as you all know at this stage.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you. Jim, what do you add to that?
Yeah, I think going back to what Alan said, I mean, for me, live streaming was, at first, it was a thing that Facebook said we needed to do. And so wanting to help clients do that, right? You've got to, I'm more one of those believers, right? If you want to call it practice what you preach. Like, I can't be telling you how to live stream if I don't know how to do it. And so a lot of times, even when I was a college professor many years ago as an adjunct, right? I think part of the reason I got hired is because I did government contracting, right? So do you want to learn from somebody who's never done it, right? Who's just going to talk about the theory, or somebody that can actually tell you, like today, like, hey, you may have issues while you're live. I mean, I've learned things over the last, even last year when we did our New Year's, prediction show. I had a power outage that was like less than 30 seconds, but guess what? I was running the show. So fortunately with StreamYard, the show went on, but I was sitting there trying to get back on. And so everything was kind of like stuck with, it was kind of like Troy Sandage was the big screen. And until I got back, he's the big screen and there's all these other people on the side and there was nothing Tim could do. So you have to be prepared for challenges. But what I love about the live streaming is the fact that you can interact. It's the real you, I would say, in most aspects, unless you're acting while you're live. And that's the thing people don't see, right? Like when this show is done, the show is done. You can go back and you can repurpose it. But on the flip side, you hear about these people spending hours to create a 5-10 minute YouTube video. And I don't got time for that.
No. Well, that's one thing that I learned early on when I originally was podcasting and then added video. I would pre-do all of the work and all the production. And I think it was you, Jim, that said, man, it's a lot easier when you just get things set up and you have it rolling in there to go live. And as long as you don't have technical difficulties like I have this morning, things usually go really well. But when we do have technical difficulties, you just learn to roll with it. And, I did I'm producing a couple shows, and I was producing the first Supernova Sisters yesterday with Dr. Nupi Aurora out of Manchester and Diana Lodogno out of LA. And Nupi completely disappeared during the show, and when Diana did such a great job of keeping going, and we just communicated in the background, but you just learn how to roll with it. When things happen. Our first show, Scott lost complete power, and we just had to go with it, and he made it to his car and made it to a spot.
Yeah,
you just do what you got to do, right?
I had to drive to a location to get enough of a cell signal to use my phone to broadcast, and so I used a couple of rubber bands, and I put my phone on my rearview mirror, and my dome light was my lighting system because it was dark that morning. It was a January morning in Oregon at 7 in the morning. It's dark, so you do what you got to do.
But I think as well, guys, that on that note, I think it's powerful that and I think people relate to that more so than anything when they see like. Okay, everyone likes a polished show. Everyone likes a really polished production. But I think the beauty of live streaming is it's real. And like I've seen some of the biggest names in the business having just total tech, meltdowns, and you just go, okay, just get on with it. And you do it and you get there. And I think people appreciate that because then as Jim says, when you're teaching it and you're a practitioner of it, it also helps you to be able to say, well, look, everything that we do is not 100% plain sailing, and we've had issues with this, and and people go, okay, and it gives more people confidence then to start doing them live streams themselves.
Yeah, I don't know what was my first thought as far as helping others. I think when people started asking me questions, the first thought I had was you two and how much you had helped us, and but it definitely. When I started producing, not just helping and coaching people, when I started producing, it was because of the experience that we had doing the experience by doing marketing with Russ, Russ Reels, Scott doing Amazon lives, all of those things. We started building this big portfolio of experience really to pull from, to help people. And you're right. I mean, then people look to you like, oh yeah, been there, done that. I love usually, and it's so great. We've all done it. Some of the most experienced podcasters and live streamers are the ones you bring on and they forget to unmute their microphone and they start talking, or they forget something, because we all do it. And then I just laugh. And I always remind people life happens, right? So, I mean, it's all good. You just keep moving. You just keep moving with it. And Scott, you in the very beginning, you're very calm, which is good. I'm the crazy one. You're much calmer. You help keep me calm. But that helps in times of no power and having to find a cell signal, right?
Well, and I think this is one of the things that we want to emphasize when you're doing a show. You can do your solo shows, but there's nothing like having a partner. So in this case, it's the experience live with Russ and Scott. That's better than just and Scott. We have the virtual global tea break, which is jointly hosted between Alan and I. And that has been a fabulous experience. And we do that the third Friday of every month. International networking, completely free. And we have formed great friendships, partnerships, business relationships, coaching, mentoring have all come out of that because we chose to do something together. And then this is the thing that makes life better is when you work together.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I I'm a huge advocate of we are better together. And, Jim, the first time that I met Tim Sohn was on your show. It's a great way to build community, not only with other people and in the comments and all the stuff you can do online, but also with some of the co-hosts on shows that you meet for the first time when you're live. So I had a lot of fun with that. So, how have you and Tim have been going a long time, right?
Yeah, we've had our show. We celebrated our 4-year anniversary in mid-August. We had Kim Garst was our guest, and so yeah, we've been going a long time. And what's interesting, unlike you and Scott, who I know had been friends before you ever went live, Tim and I met virtually. We did the show. He's in Northeast Pennsylvania, and I'm well, at the time I was in North Carolina, now in Atlanta, and we didn't meet in person for the first time until I think we'd had the show for, I think it was maybe over a year when Tim went to Social Media Marketing World, and so we've actually only met in person. I think it's been 3 times now. But we've had a 4-year show, so it just kind of shows you how technology has changed. And I think, like Alan, I don't think we've actually met in person yet, but we met through Twitter, right? And so that's another platform. People always want to bash it, but you're going to make, in today's world, because of technology, we make connections that become friends and business partners because of that. And that's where live streaming can be helpful. I mean, even a program like you're using here today in StreamYard, you can use StreamYard to have meetings. You don't have to use Zoom. And I know some people that have done that. So it's really some fascinating times we're in. And even though I loved tech growing up, and maybe some of you did, I never imagined where I am in life today that this would be possible.
And that's how these connections happen. So Jim and I both met on Twitter. Then he was volunteering in Social Media Marketing World. I'm walking through. He's got his badge, Jim Fuhs, Fuhsion Marketing, and he's guiding and directing people. And I'm just walking past. I'm like, I know you. And we got to chat, and that was where we first met face to face. But we had known each other through Twitter. And then Twitter was one of the lead-ins to a very short-lived 1 year was Blab, which was video networking. I'm not sure exactly how to describe Blab, but look in Wikipedia. I'm sure there's something about Blab. But this was a video platform where I met Samantha Kelly. She invited me to come over to Ireland to speak at the Social Media Summit, and that's where I met Alan. And oddly enough, the topic of that I presented at the Social Media Summit was called the psychology and physiology of relationships. And basically, I went through and proved that the relationships that we create, looking at the academic research, the relationships that we create online can be just as strong as those that we create face-to-face. And for the last 2.5 years, we've had a global laboratory that has proven that to be true. And Jim, you and Tim have proven that. Alan and I, although we met briefly, and look at what we were able to create with the tea break.
Right. Yeah. Alan, go ahead.
I think that's very important. Like as Jim has said, we met on Twitter, and like people would often say to me, say, "Oh, what's your favorite social media platform?" And the first ones I'll always go to would be Twitter and LinkedIn. And I just find that Twitter is phenomenal because you get in front of people, and then you can start conversations, and then they lead on to, as you said, you build on them relationships, and that's how, I'd say 90% of the guests that have been on the podcast have been through Twitter. It's the same with the live shows that I do, the in conversations. It's all through them connections there that build. So I think it's very important that, if anyone is out there and they're thinking of starting a live show, don't be afraid to use these platforms and get to know the people. Don't just jump straight in and ask them. Get to know them, because they're more inclined to have a really good conversation with them then, and you'll also get so much more out of it. With regards to, like, say, even with live streaming, there's so much repurposing that you can do. And as you say, guys, you have a huge portfolio of all of the experience shows. Like, even taking snippets from, even 50 episodes. You could create something so incredible. And I've seen them where you've used them, and you use them in the intros to the shows and stuff like that. So, like, there's so many opportunities for people to use live streaming, not just live, but going forward and after the event, or even before it as well. You can do, pre-rolls and stuff like that, so which is great.
Well, I just got to say that I've been completely blessed because Scott's been a friend for years and is amazing, who really pushed me along in the process in a good way, encouraged me to do what I'm doing today. But then he also brought me into the global tea break just before the pandemic shut down the world and taught me about this Zoom thing that I thought might think is kind of cool. And so then when the pandemic hit, I had a business started. I knew how to use Zoom. And suddenly I was an expert to everybody I knew because everybody else was trying to figure out how in the world to use Zoom. But what is amazing too is because of that, I met you, Alan. I met you, Jim. I've met so many people. People ask me, people I'm working with, how do you work with somebody in Manchester, England, or LA, or Florida, or South Africa, or Canada? Well, it's because of this amazing medium we have, whether we are connecting through Zoom or meetings or whatever, or we're doing live streaming. It's enabled me to do so many great things. And I now have great friends like Bruce Carnahan, the guy in the blue shirt, who calls me and says, I'm coming through Salem, and we're having a 2-hour coffee yesterday and walking along the waterfront in Salem. People like Cami Hoyza, who calls Scott and I up, says, hey, I'm coming to Portland. Are you guys available? And we're able to go up and meet with them. And I also have a really good friend, Jim, you brought up that you and Tim haven't met a bunch of times. I had a really good friend that I've taught workshops with. Her name is Raquel Muller, and I had never met her till Scott and Christine and I had lunch with her last week. So we have formed these amazing relationships with this medium, but we can take it beyond that. And I hope to very soon be able to go to a Braves game with Jim, be in Dublin with Alan. It's just amazing. Scott, go ahead. You were going to say something.
Well, as our buddy Brian Fanzo says, social media turns handshakes into hugs. And so it's wonderful to do the digital work, but when you get those opportunities to meet, as my wife says, in 3D, take those opportunities. So, and I'm going to turn it over to Russ, who is the responsible host.
Yes, we have to wind things up here, and I want to thank both of you so much for being here today and for just blessing us. I mean, when I talk about the step up you gave us, the hand up, and giving us a start with this, I truly mean how much Scott and I appreciate all that I'm doing today in live streaming. I owe to the two of you because I was able to take what you already knew and then grow from there. So I appreciate you both so much. And I'm going to give you both a chance to give everybody your last words, what you want them to remember from today, and then let everybody know how to get in touch with you, because I know people are going to want to talk to you more. So Jim, let's go age before beauty. You're up first.
Yeah. So I would just say the biggest thing is don't be afraid to get started with video. where I'm at with my video now is not where I started, right? I started out with the computer, camera and really bad audio. So you can work your way up. Don't feel like you got to spend thousands of dollars, but video is not going away. Apps like Volley, which are now people are starting to use more to communicate asynchronously. You're going to want to get on video. So just practice, right? I mean, it's no different than being in person. You just have a camera there. And, if you want to contact me, LinkedIn, Jim Fuhs, or Twitter, Fuhsion Marketing is the other place. Those are the two places I probably hang out the most.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Alan, you're up next.
Yeah, no, I reiterate exactly what Jim says. Just get on and do it. And we spend our lives procrastinating and saying, "Well, we'll do that tomorrow." Just jump on, try it. You know what I mean? Like if you go back to look at some of even my early stuff, you go, I look at it and I cringe, but I leave it up there because I can see and I can show the gradual progression. And I think that's the most important part is you just got to start and you just got to enjoy it. And remember, especially if you're live streaming, and if you don't have guests and you're just doing it yourself, talk to one person. Talk to the person on the other end of the camera. Don't try and be all things to everybody. Talk to one person because it will help you focus and it will also keep you on track of where you're going. And I think they're the key points. But yeah, guys, as I always say, if you do want to get in contact, jump on LinkedIn, is where you always find me, or on Twitter. And I'm always happy to chat and jump on a live stream as well. And so, yeah, thanks for inviting me on, guys, today. I really enjoyed it. It was great to spend some time with you as well.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you both for coming on today. It was really kind of a big deal for us to have you both on at the beginning of season 4. So we're going into our 4th season of doing this. And, I just want to say that everybody watching today, learn from what you're hearing today. I learn every time I'm on. I spoke to a new friend yesterday, and he was telling me one thing, biggest mistake people make in live streaming and podcasting is they don't listen to their guests. They're too busy making themselves look good. Being a talker, I have to intentionally work on that, but I appreciate both of you. I listen, I learn, and I want to thank you both for that today and for being on. So we're going to let you both go and hang tight in the green room for just a minute. You know the routine, and we'll see you in just a sec. Thanks again.
Thank you, gents.
Well,
that's been it's just, it's great because we have Alan and Jim in the credits because they were instrumental in giving us information and advice, technical advice, and support, just emotional support to be able to actually kick this show off January, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. No, it has been both. Yes. Support as far as knowledge and support as far as emotional support. You're right. And, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. I mean, every day I am thankful for all of the opportunities and the friends that I have. And Scott, I'm thankful for you and what a blessing you are in my life. So thank you.
I love to get those texts from you, Russ, that says you're praying for me and Christine and hoping we have a great day. You are just a blessing of a friend.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I just want to remind everybody, if you want to see all the amazing people Scott and I are blessed with every week, come on the experience and join us in the comments and watch every Wednesday, at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Wednesday, get the right day. And please subscribe to our YouTube page. How do you do that? You go to the experience.video, www.theexperience.video, and you can subscribe to our YouTube page. What you get then is you get notices about upcoming stuff on YouTube, and you get information. You can watch all the past stuff we've done. There's amazing shows. This is show number 80. There's been a ton of great shows. So
there's been some great folks. Yeah. And make sure you follow Alan and Jim.
Yes.
Of course, Jim's got the Tim and Jim show, Dealcasters. They did us with Chris Stone. I know he's doing just a ton of things out there. So make sure you're following him. And then Alan, of course, And myself on the virtual global tea break, the third
Yes.
Friday of. So I use this mug specifically today because that's coming up. And it's not this Friday, but the third Friday will be a week from Friday. And that's 7 a.m.
Yes.
Pacific time, so 10 a.m. right on the East Coast. And
There you go.
anyway, we'll work all
Yes.
those time zones out. But
And
make
it's
sure
amazing.
make sure people join because
Yeah.
we've got so many good things going on.
Yeah.
Many live streams. I know we can't watch them all live or even in replay, but participate when you can, because that's how we get connected. This is when you choose to participate in people's lives, your life is better.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly it, because we are definitely better together.
Mhm.
And definitely be part of the Global Tea Break, www.globalteabreak.com. All of the stuff in our comments and in the show notes is clickable. Globalteabreak.com is all of Jim's information, Alan's information. Please connect with them. Please join us and be part of the Global Tea Break. It's an amazing place to meet people all over the world, and I have been truly blessed by that. So listen, want to thank everybody for being here today. Scott, I'm going to sign us off, but you know what? You guys, we just have one last thing to say today because we get excited. Have so much fun with Kermit. And until we see you again, have a great day and a great life, and
enjoy the experience.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.